You learn to walk. You learn to talk. Someone held you for the first time, and you looked into their face and something in you changed forever. You remember none of it. Not the walking, not the talking, not the face. Somewhere in the first few years of your life, an entire person was built, and that person kept no records. Ask anyone about their earliest memory, and they'll usually land somewhere around age 3 or 4. Everything before that is simply gone. Not blurry, not distant. Gone, as if it never happened to you at all. That's strange when you think about it. Your brain was working, your eyes were seeing, your ears were hearing every word spoken around you. So where did all of it go? The real answer is far stranger than a simple memory glitch. Your brain wasn't broken during those years. It was busy building something else entirely, and memory had to wait its turn. Psychologists call this infantile amnesia. Sigmund Freud was the first to name it, though his explanation that children repress early memories out of hidden conflict has mostly been abandoned. The real explanation had to wait for neuroscience to catch up. Researcher Patricia Bauer has spent decades studying how memory develops in young children, and her work reveals something remarkable. Children as young as 2 can form memories. They can recall a specific event days or months later. The memories exist. The problem isn't forming them. The problem is keeping them. Bauer's research shows that young children's memories fade far faster than adult memories do. A 4-year-old might remember something vividly for months, only to lose access to it entirely within a year or 2. The memory isn't stored wrong. It simply isn't built to last because the machinery responsible for long-term storage is still under construction. That machinery lives in a part of your brain called the hippocampus, a small curved structure tucked deep in your temporal lobe. The hippocampus is essential for converting short-term experiences into memories you can retrieve years later. Here's the twist. The hippocampus isn't finished developing at birth. It keeps growing new neurons well into early childhood, and researcher Paul Franklin found something that reshapes the whole conversation. His studies suggest that the rapid growth of new neurons during early childhood may actually work against memory stability. New neurons need to wire themselves into existing circuits. As they do, they can disrupt the very connections that older memories depend on. The same explosive brain growth that lets you learn language and recognize faces at lightning speed may be quietly overwriting the memories you're forming along the way. Your brain wasn't failing to remember your early life. It was too busy rebuilding itself to keep the receipts. There's another piece to this puzzle, and it has nothing to do with biology and everything to do with language. Researcher Robin Fevish has spent years studying how children begin to construct autobiographical memory, the kind of memory that isn't just a fact, but a story with a beginning, a feeling, and a sense that it happened to you specifically. Fivish's work suggests this kind of memory depends heavily on language and conversation with other people. Around the time children develop the vocabulary to talk about the past, they begin forming memories that actually stick. Talking about an event with a parent being asked, "And then what?" appears to help cement it into something that survives. Before that point, an experience can be intensely real in the moment and still leave almost nothing behind, because the scaffolding needed to store it, as a story about yourself simply isn't built yet. Think about what that means. You weren't a blank slate as a baby. You were a fully feeling, fully perceiving person. You just didn't yet have the tools to file any of it away as something you could return to later. So here's the modern mirror. That toddler tantrum you can't explain in your own child, the one that erupts from nowhere and vanishes just as fast? For them, it isn't nothing. It's enormous. It simply won't be filed anywhere they can reach again. And the version of you reading this right now is standing on top of a foundation you can't see. Everything you are, your instincts, your comfort with certain voices, was shaped in those unremembered years. The memories are gone. The imprint isn't. You'll never get those years back as memories. But in a strange way, you never lost them either. They became you, quietly, permanently, long before you were capable of remembering that it happened at all. So the next time someone asks what your earliest memory is, and you shrug and admit you're not entirely sure, remember this. The silence isn't empty. It's just written in a language memory never learned to speak.